Good evening, everyone. As you can see, I've got my co-host with me.
Hello. I'm still with co-host. Who's got about?
Yes, certain little black cat is co-hosting with me.
Oh,
What?
I'm not loading.
Oh. So yes, it's been a busy day today. I've uploaded, I've published 2 baking collaborations, and I'm here for live stream as well. So yes, it's been a busy old week. So Benny's got his arms cuddling me. Hiya, Tracy. How are you?
Hold on, Tracy.
So yes, my trusty co-host here. Man of few words. Unlike the other one.
Where's about me?
Benny's the strong, silent type. He likes a cuddle, does Benny? He's going an old fella now. So probably not be long before he's getting off because he don't like it in the limelight. So yes, the first collab that I did, I published this morning, and then the second one, everybody were publishing it at the same time. Oh, pardon me. So it were like 12 p.m. US time. So that meant it were like 5 p.m. UK time. Hiya, Jeff. How are you? So yes, so they worked it like so everybody published at the same time. So yeah, it's been a lot of hard work. Both myself and Chris, I bake it and do all the descriptions and everything. Chris edits it, so it's obviously we're being ill last week. We had it all to do this week. I mean, it wouldn't have been so bad if there were just one, but I'd got 2. So, but same as I said to Chris, it's like buses, you wait in one for ages and then 2 comes along, So yeah. So I says to Chris this afternoon, or this evening, when the second one published, I went, we can breathe a sigh of relief now, all his hard work's paid off, so they're published and everything, and I am very thankful for being asked to do the collaborations. There were a lot of good channels and a lot of good desserts and whatever. I've watched every single one of both collabs, and yeah, I just feel honoured that I were asked to do it, because there were some, some good, I mean, one were like cupcake, Valentine's cupcake collaboration, and the second one was a Valentine's dessert. So yeah, but we got there in end, the same as Chris says. Thank God it were. You see, it put us a little bit behind with me being poorly all last week. I mean, the plan was I was going to do, I'd got plenty of time, and then I fell ill, so it put us a little bit behind, if you know what I mean, with me not being well enough to do the baking. So, but we managed it. We've got there. Yeah, that's it. Blame me. Like I can help being ill. So yeah. Had I felt up to it, had I done them last week, that, but how poorly I felt. So it's a wonder you can't hear Benny purring his head off. He's purring like nothing No excuse. Yeah, right. You get sniffles, and you know, and you've got man flu.
Don't know what
So,
I need.
oh, I do. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. He gets the sniffles and thinks it's got man flu. So, so yeah, that's about it, really. Same as I say. Hiya, Carla. How are you? Yeah, I'm just telling everybody, Carla, I've published 2 baking vlogs today, both collaborations. So, and they're both for Valentine's Day. So, same as I said, I've never done a collaboration before. I didn't know what to expect. But you know, it went better than what I thought it would be. You know, I thought I'd be sweating and, you know, and thinking, oh, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? When hiya, Bella, how are you?
Ballerina.
You know, I was having nightmares about it, basically, because I'd never done a collaboration before. And then lo and behold, I mastered just 2, and they're both being published on the same day. But I've managed it. So, you know, I can't grumble. Can't grumble. You know, I've enjoyed doing them. Lads has enjoyed eating them. Let's just put it that way. Callum especially liked the red velvet chocolate swirl brownies. So yeah, he particularly like them. I mean, I like the cupcakes as well, but you know, same as I said to Chris, I says, look at it this way. You'll get to taste the spoils of me doing this collaboration. You know what I mean? You'll get to eat the end product. So, and Benny, you're making my hand ache, because if I let my hand go, you'll go flying.
Yeah.
It's making me arm ache. So yes, it came on me prior to me going live, and you know, there's an old softy, aren't you, really, Benny? Claws as that, digging in me top. So, hiya, Steve. How are you? You see, you've got Mark as your co-host, and I've got Benny as my co-host. So, so yes, I've got a cat co-host. Albeit he's 3 sheets to wind and having a snooze and purring his head off. Man of little words. Oh yeah, I think it says Sunday. It's supposed to be Sunday. I think it said.
Saturday night.
Yeah, like 80-mile-an-hour winds, and you see, I thought it had been snowing this morning, but Chris says, no, it's just a really bad frost. And I says, well, it looked like it had been snowing to me. So, so yeah, I were going to say to Chris, oh, guess what? It's been snowing, and yeah, Saturday into Sunday. I know I'd seen weather forecast, and it remnants of this
Storm, whatever.
yeah, Kira or something. So that Brenda,
yeah,
we're on seas now.
oh,
It's Kira or something. I don't know. Kira, I think it says. But I do know it did say that there were going to be like really, really strong winds and gusts of up to 80 mile an hour, and so you know, the same as I said to Chris, more often than not, I take what weather people with a pinch of salt, because they've been promising or saying we were took Tess out and told her she got 40 seconds to do her business. We see that's why we've got cats, Bella. You just open the door and they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? You don't have to take them out on lead or anything, you know. It's just open door, you know, go and do what you've got to do and then scratch or meow when you want to come back in. But yeah, Chris went down to Asda and he says, it's in tough blooming cold out there. So it put like a thick hoodie. Well, it's not a hoodie, it's like a zip up thing, but it's like got a fleece lining inside. It says, I'm putting this on today. I was like,
Don't care what I look like.
yeah. Well, I mean, it don't matter what you look like, does it? As long as you're nice and warm.
Yeah.
Putting poor dog under pressure. Well, it's like me saying to you, right, I've got you on a stopwatch, you've got 40 seconds to go to the toilet. It did. But yeah, it's at times like these I'm glad we ain't got a dog, because I won't be going out and walking it. It'll be up to Chris to go out and take it for a walk. But yeah, that's good about mind you, I must say that these past, well, apart from Tucker, I was going to say the cats have got more sense and realised that, you know, temperatures were going to drop and everything and stayed in. But Tucker actually stopped out last night. She's not under pressure. If she was, she might crap a bit quick. Oh, that one's a good one. Yeah. So Chris says to me this morning, he says, has that Tucker come back in? Yeah, because I'd come down here before him. I says, well, no, I've not heard him meowing. I says, and I weren't getting up off the sofa to go and have a look. So he says, I better go and have a look, see if he's at the door. He says, look at him be sat outside door. He says, like a frozen stiff. So, hi, Ian, how are you? Ian?
I've got him on here as well.
Oh, Gordon Bennett, is it that playing up again? Where you put Tess Walkers in, like Chris got sorted at Asda. Yeah. So yeah, Chris envisaged seeing Tucker sat on outside patio doors like a block of ice. I says, well, if he's daft enough to stay out all night, that's his lookout. I know I were nice and you know, curled up in bed nice and warm, and I says other ones had got sense to stay in. I says, so each daft one staying out all night.
Mr. Do Ian, put him on. DJ Ian, not Do Ian.
Anyway, Mr. Do Ian. Anyway, same as I say. But you see, Tucker Benny is like 9 this year, and I think it's going a bit too long it to be staying out on tiles all night. So same as I said to Chris, if he's daft enough to stay out there all night, then it's his own lookout. You know, he knows bad weather's coming and everything. So, and I had to laugh this afternoon when Tucker and Lucy were both sat on his knee.
Not kidding.
And they were like, it were which one could get highest. You know, Tucker started out on his knee and Lucy were like on his arm. So then Tucker decided it were moving a bit higher up. So, oh, no, I'm off out shortly. Night only, yeah. So yeah. Same as I says, it's nice to feel wanted, isn't it? He says, wanted. He says, I think the pair on them stalking me. So I says to him, I says, I'm glad there's only Benny comes on me. I couldn't be doing with it. You know what I mean? It's and this one's enough. He does me nutting. So for some reason he likes to lie on laptop. It's all well and good, but if you wanted to use it, oh, pardon me, I've got burpees. So yeah, but they're all. Where's Lucy? Oh, she's on your knee. I was going to say, should I guess?
No.
They're all in at the moment. So hey, we've got Gordo in.
Gordo the gopher.
Yes. Oh dear. I says to Chris, I says, I don't know how you cope with it. I says, because sometimes he insists like coming on me, and he's like he claws at me, and I you know, I get fed up and I say, right, Benny, that's enough, you can get down.
You see TV AM? No, but I watched Good Morning Britain.
What?
No,
TV AM? Is that, oh, Good Morning Britain? Or oh, we're talking Philip Schofield now. Is that what you're getting at, Bella? No. That's what I mean. Yeah, she means that with Peter Schofield. Philip Schofield. Get this. He's been married 27 years. He's got 2 grown-up children, and he's come out as being gay.
Huh? Really?
Yep. 57 years old. He's been married for 27 years, and he's got 2 grown-up children, and he's eventually come out as being gay.
There you go then.
But Gordo says he was always gay, not the biggest secret. But it's how can I put it? I mean, for years, people haven't cared less whether you're gay, bisexual, straight, or whatever. But you know, if you're gay, you're gay, and if you're straight, you're straight. You know what I mean? Why live a lie for all these years? I mean, you imagine how devastated his wife is, how devastated his kids are. You know what I mean? It's not just, it's all well and good coming out and admitting that you're gay, but you think of the devastation that it's causing his wife and his kids after 27 years of marriage for him to admit that he's gay. So, you know, at least if you've known that you're gay, why not say something rather than sort of, you know, wait, his kid said they wasn't bothered, watch the interview. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like they've been together all them years. Did he tell her years ago that he thought he were gay, or has just waited till now to tell him he's gay? You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. You know, why choose now to come out as being gay and been married for 27 years and got 2 grown-up children? You know what I mean? It's not, how can I put it? yeah, his wife might understand. Yeah, his kids might understand. But you've got to think of the ripple effect that it's going to have. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, Ian. You know, in this day and age, even going back to like 60s and 70s, you know, there were no shame in being gay. You know, I look at it this way, you know, you're either gay or you're straight, you know, or lesbian or whatever. You know, don't be ashamed of admitting, how can I put it? Don't be ashamed and live a lie. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, it's, and I look at it this way as well. Life's too short. If I've learned anything, life's too short to be living your life as a lie. You know, come out and tell people that you're gay, get on with your life and live it how you want to live it. If that makes any sense. But this is what I'm saying, Bella. Same as I say, if he's been living essentially a lie for 27 years and he's known all along that he was gay, there's no shame in coming out as gay. Does that mean that he's lived the past 27 years unhappy, or you know what I mean? It's yeah, but and another thing as well, Ian, is in the media spotlight a lot. He's a well-known TV presenter. I mean, it's like a lot of footballers don't sort of own up to their sexuality because of them getting stick off their teammates or, you know, whoever. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm saying, Bella. You know, it's sort of, you know, did his wife know? Has he been living a life for the last 27 years? Obviously, he's been happy because you know, he's got 2 kids out of it. It's an English celebrity karate. You've probably not heard of it. You know, and you know, same as I said, if you've lost somebody that you love, you know that you grasp each day as you know, as if it were your last. You know what I mean? Why live a lie? Life's too short to be anything other than happy. Hi, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, but it's like George Michael. George Michael openly admitted that he was gay. It didn't scupper his chances of becoming famous. You know, there's a lot of TV and personalities have come out openly as gay, and it's not hindered their sort of the career, let's just say. But this is it, Ian. You know, same as I say, Paul O'Grady, he's openly gay. Sean out of Coronation Street, he's openly gay. They're still celebrities. It hasn't sort of harmed their careers in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, it's you know, it's same as I've just said. You know, I'd sooner, from my perspective, him be openly gay than be unhappy as he is. Obviously, he hasn't been unhappy because he stayed married to the same woman for 27 years. But if he's known that he were gay, you know, obviously he's had to sort of been unhappy at some point. So yeah, you know, I mean, same as I've said to Ian, you know, I've said to Billy, it don't make no difference to me whether he's gay, whether he's, you know, into BDSM or whatever, you know what I mean? I wish him all the best. You know what I mean? It's life's too short to be unhappy. We're talking we're talking about a well-known English celebrity. I don't know whether you've heard of him, Philip Schofield. My mind went blank then. But he's been married for 27 years and he's got 2 grown-up children. But Ian knows what I'm going to ask now. Go on then. But, you know, people deal with it in different ways. You know, I mean, obviously, same as, you know, we've said, he probably didn't want to come out as gay because of his career. But to me, if people love you, they love you whether you're bi, straight, gay, or whatever. What's BDSM? Bondage, summit, sadomasochism. I think that's what it stands for. Yeah. Go down, Google it. It's bondage, domination, sadomasochism. In other words, whips and chains and all that, Bella.
You should know that she's got 20 odd in spare bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a slap now.
So yeah. Yeah, Ian said, but he openly said he was unhappy, but was scared. The media are, yeah. I agree with you there, Ian. It's, you know, the media have a lot to answer for. You know what I mean? They sort of twist things and, you know, and false stories, false news, blah, blah, blah. Karate's put you don't know what BDSM is. In other words, it's called being married. But yeah, you know, I mean, my attitude is each to their own. I mean, you know, if that's what you're into, then, you know, all well and good luck to you. You know what I mean? But it's, you know, so yeah, same as I say, you know, it don't bother me in the slightest, but it's same as I say, no disrespect to anybody, but the media have got a way of twisting things and, you know, false news, etc. Oh, it's put, if you see what Mrs. G cooks, you will understand what torture is. But yeah, you know, it's I'm going back to this thing again where life's too short. You know, if that's the sort of thing you're into, then that's the sort of thing you're into. You know, like punk, you know, punk rockers, goths or whatever. It's their life. You know, it's whatever in, you know, whatever makes you happy. So you know, yeah, right. Oh dear. But same as I say, you know, each to their own. You know, so long as I'm happy. I mean, I'm happy with my life. I've got a runny nose and all now. Callum's got a lot to answer for and all. you know, it won't do for everybody to be the same. Let's just say that. So, yeah, he really loves his wife, Carla. He was breaking his heart to. We see this as it. I mean, you're not with somebody for 27 years and can't say that you don't love them. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's a case of what happens next. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's what happens next. Are they going to split up? Is it going to, you know, start afresh? I think in one respect, he's probably waited till his kids are grown up to sort of. That's probably one of the reasons why he's probably done it, is wait until his kids have got older so they can understand more, if that makes any sense. So, so yeah, you see, I mean, you know, I don't know what's going to happen next. It's just a case of, you know, wait. But I think myself, he's been really brave. I mean, I've not seen any of the interviews or anything. I've just seen it on like notifications and this, that, and the other. But to sit there and tell everybody about it and come out not just openly, but on like an interview on television and this, that, and other, is very, very brave in my estimation. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm saying, Bella. You know, if you're a good person, it don't matter whether you know what sexual preference you've got, or you know, it shouldn't matter to anybody. You know what I mean? If you like that person as a person, and you like the personality, or you like the person that they are, then to me, it makes no difference, you know, one jot. You know, if that person's got a heart of gold, if they, you know, they ain't got a bad bone in the body, it don't matter whether they're gay, bi, or straight, or whatever. It don't make a difference. You know what I mean? If they're a good person, they're a good person. It don't matter. They've still got the same heart as before, or they've still got the same heart as what they had all along. You know what I mean? You know, a good art is always a good art. There's too much emphasis, I think, nowadays put on, how can I put it, to stick labels on people. You know, there's too much, they're too quick to stick labels on. You know what I mean? But that's just my take on it. You know, they're so quick to label people. You know what I mean? It's easy to label people and then jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, Paul, it's all right. We were just discussing it about Philip Schofield. Yeah, the same as we've got Johnny Five. So yeah, same as we've said. You know, it makes no difference to me whether you're black, white, yellow, green.
Jimmy Five. No, Johnny Five.
You know, white with pink polka dots. It's the person inside that matters. You know, and the media and everybody else are so quick to stick a label on it, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's same as I've just said. It's life's too short, and obviously with losing my mum, it's oh, you're welcome, Bella. They don't half make me laugh. I've watched every one of them. I couldn't comment on the one with Ty and London because it says comments were switched off, but yeah, I said exactly the same but a few minutes ago. You know, it's sort of has its ripple effect, you know, not just his wife and his kids, but the closer family, if you know what I mean. Hi, Azy, how are you? You know, it's you know, I always say, you know, it won't do in life for everybody to be the same. You know, we've all got different interests. We all do different things. And same as I said, if sort of losing my mum's taught me anything, it's taught me to live every day as if it were my last. Life's too short to not enjoy yourself, or, you know, to bear grudges, to, you know, care what anybody else thinks. You know what I mean? And anybody that knows me knows I couldn't give a stuff what people think. You either like me or you don't. You know, if you don't like me, then that's all well and good. So, but that's sort of like just my little rant over, you know, I'm not, you know, I'll admit I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't put no airs and graces on. I don't try to be something that I'm not. Hi, Frugal Farmer, how are you? You know what I mean? And it comes back down to this thing, you know, you either like me, it's like Marmite, you either like me or you don't. You know what I mean? If you don't like me, then, you know, that's your loss, not mine. I'm laughing at what Bella's for. Trust Bella. She says, I can't imagine my boss saying he was gay. There's no bloke going to put up with his snoring. Oh. Yeah. He says Johnny says he's felt on roof tomorrow. Oh. Johnny, before bad weather hits, but I says to him, like when I was talking to him earlier on, I says, it's going to be a palace by the time you've done, because he's got all these posh doors and everything. And I says,
Sky Telly in there, so
I'm going to say, I think he'll be moving in if it gets any posher. But yeah, you know, I mean, I think everybody here in the chat is the same, feels the same way as what I do. You know, I am who I am. I don't put no airs and graces on. I don't come on live streams, you know, with full face makeup on. I very rarely use makeup. You know what I mean? You know, I have got my flaws. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the friends that like me for who I am, that's, you know, that's all that matters. You know, I'm not gonna change myself for anybody. I'm not gonna be something that I've not. And it's like I saw a post on Facebook today, and it says, you know, what did it say? It says something to the effect of, I genuinely am happy for friends to succeed. It's not, it's not a race or a competition, which is it's very solid built. Need to take a window out and cut the wall out in middle. He's making it all open plan now, look. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, Bella. This is what I'm saying about it won't do for everybody to be the same. You love your makeup. It's very rarely that I wear makeup, but I don't you don't judge me because I don't wear makeup. Let's just put it that, if you know what I mean. We love you, Jeanette. Now, bakers and cake. Hey, I've done enough of that this week. I've done 2 collaborations. Holiday let Costa Rothwell. But yeah, Johnny's going to be all open plan before much longer. But yeah, you know what I mean. You can understand what I'm saying, Bella. Makeup and beauty and everything's your thing. But same as you said when we were talking yesterday, it's not exactly my thing. I don't know the face thing. You know what I mean? Bella knows all the tricks and exfoliating and priming your face before you put makeup and everything on. My idea of putting makeup on is I put a bit of concealer on, I put a bit of foundation, slap eyeshadow and mascara and everything, and voila, I'm done. You know what I mean? Oh, Vanessa's wrote up a plan for a 12x16 workshop.
Ooh.
But this is what I'm saying, Vanessa, you know what I mean? I don't.
Richard did.
Hiya, Richard, how are you? Cheetah thinks I'm building an ark. Well, the amount of effort you're putting it in and whatever, it would surprise me, Johnny. He says, yes, she's Sparkos. He said, Tracy says he's keener in a bed. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's a case of I'm not going to pull somebody to pieces that wear a lot of makeup, like all the hair perfectly up and done and this, that, and other. But it just isn't me. You know what I mean? And my friends accept me the way I am. I come on here, my ears a blooming mess. You know what I mean? But I don't get judged for being a hot mess, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and this is it. And I've always said, Vanessa, if anybody wanted to reach out to me, they've got a problem. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to solve it, but if I can give advice to one person, then, so far it's cost me 80 quid. Oh, that's not bad then, Johnny.
It's not.
He says it's only cost him 80 quid up to yet.
Bargain.
Johnny, Snobby and I are having shop wars. Be careful around him. But, I spoke to Johnny via Messenger and I went, he knows how to pick these bargains up, doesn't he? The 2 doors that he's got ain't got keys, but a barrel thing's only a £5. So, it's... yeah, and that were exactly what I was trying to get across, Bella. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pull anybody down for the love of makeup or, having their hair all nice and this, that, and other. But it's just not me, if you know what I mean. I'm always careful unless I have a hammer in my hand. But this is the thing. This is what I'm saying, Bella. You know what I mean? I've said this to Bella many, many, many times. I am who I am. I'm not. I don't put no airs and graces on. You know, ours is not a palace. I'm in poor health, but I look after my friends. I make sure my friends is all right. If my friends want anything, you've only got to message me. I'd eat teething. I had an ET finger for a week. Oh, dear me. And I appreciate that, Vanessa. Sorry about that laughing. I can just imagine Johnny with his fingers stuck up in it. I'm just imagining. Oh dear. And it sort of, that made me titter, that one did. Bella says, take the notice. I'm sorry, Bella, but you know me too well. If something makes me titter and I want to start laughing, I can't stop. Gordo says, have you seen what E.T. does with his finger? Oh, God. Don't start. I can't see. I've got tears in my eyes. I can't reach that. Oh, dear. I mean, anybody that knows me knows if something makes me laugh and it really makes me titter, once I start laughing, I can't stop. So yeah, thank you, guys. I can't see that. Oh dear, but I've got all smeary eyes now. I can't see to. Got backache lifting. He says I got backache lifting your table in boot. Same as I says to Chris. I says I've been talking to you earlier on, and I says Johnny reckons it's ever so heavy. So he says, well, he says that's good. He says, and I've got one dodgy arm. I don't think he was picking his nose. This channel is a. But yeah, it's like, you know, we get on one subject and then we quickly go on to another, and Bella knows me. If I start laughing and it tickles me, I can't stop. Oh, you saw a neurologist. Oh, but yeah, you know, I mean, this is it. This is just the person, you know. I've got a wicked sense of humour, and the slightest little thing triggers that sense of humour, and I start laughing. More often than not, I can't stop. You know what I mean? Tell you what, when I buy another table, I'm getting one of those last years. It's solid. Yeah. It's all right, Bella. I went before I sat down, but I don't think. See you, Jeff. I don't think I'll be peeing myself just yet. But yeah. Sometimes I do laugh that hard. It you know, it virtually does make me pee myself because I laugh. But if I find something that's me, and my mum always says to me, I've got a dirty laugh. And Chris and Bella know me all too well. If something tickles me, I start laughing, and I can't, you know, I can't talk, I can't do anything because I'm laughing that hard. Oh dear. But yeah, but I mean, we've got a downstairs toilet, but chances are, if I say I need to pee, I'll probably pee myself by the time I get there. Chris, put your feather of dust away.
to get ready for bed.
Okie dokie then, Bella.
See you, Bella.
Yeah, totally led astray. She's the one to talk, isn't she?
Bella's my instigator.
Yeah. Oh dear. See you later, Bella. Have a good night. That one's a good one coming from Bella. Oh, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. And the same as I say, I can't. Every time we talk, I keep saying, "Oh, I really appreciate it." Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It really did choke me up. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's she's got 3 monkeys. I think that's what is it? See no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Have you ever felted a roof? No, but he's a quick learner. He's going to have you on roof on Monday. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? So yeah, I mean, it's like same as we've said, you know, if you want any help, ejaculate what Yorkshire people say to Jack when he's late for work. I'm gonna put a big H on it, easy helipad. Oh dear, you'll have. I hope they're into hospital close by, Johnny, and they land there by mistake. Oh dear. So now we've stopped laughing. I've got me senses back now. But yeah, you know, if you want to, Andy will give you a hand, you know he will. Me and Tracy will supervise. You know, we'll sit out in garden, supping coffee and eating cake and oh dear. But no, we won't be that cruel. We'll just watch while you're doing whatever you've got to do. Well, I'm coming down with that cold. I told him not to spread it. So yeah. Same as I say, Callum's got a lot to answer for. I told him I didn't want this cold. I'm not full of it. I've just got sniffles and a bit of a runny nose. So yeah. So for everybody that's sort of come in a little bit later, I've done 2 collabs today. One was Valentine's red velvet cupcakes, and the other one was red velvet chocolate swirl brownies. Only Corona you will have to bring is in bottles, thanks. Yeah. It says only Corona you're allowed to bring is in bottles, thanks. Oh dear. And did you know that the very first outbreak of that coronavirus was at York University?
Have you been in England?
Yes, in England. The first outbreak of the coronavirus in England was at York University. So, and then what we were watching yesterday morning.
Oh.
Tell it. I know that. That cruise ship thing.
They were on GMTV.
Were it on GMTV?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we were watching telly yesterday morning, and they were interviewing like this British couple, and they'd gone on a cruise, and they docked in Japan, right? So they took 10 off because they tested positive for this coronavirus, and then they took another 10 off, and the rest of the people on the boat are now in quarantine and they don't know how long for. But you see, same as I says to Chris when he says the first case in the UK was at York University, it's because there's a lot of different ethnics in university, you know, Chinese, Japanese, you know, and I think I know I got out early, come back early, and anyone coughs, I punch him in the face while we're wearing gloves. But you see, you know, I think it's going to be more prevalent in the universities because you're getting Chinese people going home to visit the, you know, the relatives, and then they're coming back to university. So basically, they're bringing it with them. And I said that to Chris yesterday morning. I says, I bet any money it's a Chinese person that's been home to visit the parents or been home to visit the relatives, then flown back here, not knowing that they were carrying the virus. So, so yeah, you know, I mean, it were inevitable that it was going to come to this country, because for that fact that there's a lot of Chinese people in our universities. Oh, I've got no chance then, Johnny, because my immune system at the moment is shot to pieces. That's one of the reasons why I come down with the shingles as well, because my immune system was that low. Obviously, the chickenpox virus lies dormant in your body until you get something, you know, where you're really unwell. And I said to Chris the other day, it's a good job, really. I don't get out a lot. Otherwise, I'd be really, you know, weary about getting it, if you know what I mean. You know, in one respect, you know, I don't go out a lot, so I'm less likely to get it than I am more likely to get it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, not blaming anyone in particular, but you see how it's being transmitted. It's people coming home from China or coming back to university from China, not realizing that they've probably brought it with them. Pardon me. So, but yeah, Callum, it's the same as I said. You see, Callum goes to college, and then he was saying, "Oh, it's your fault I've got a cold. It's my dad's fault I've got a cold." And I'm like, Callum, no. I says it's because there's thousands of kids at college, and not everybody stays at home when they've got a cold. So, you know. Ah, Johnny says it's from bats.
What?
It's from bats. Chinese eat infected bats, then it jumped onto humans. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. But, you know, same as I says when they were on about getting this cold, and they were blaming me, and then they were blaming his dad. And I went, Callum, there's thousands of people at college. I says, you're not meaning to tell me that somebody that you have a class with and come to college with a cold. It's that simple to catch a cold. So, you know, most people just bring back souvenirs when they go away. Well, yeah, they have bought souvenirs back. They've bought coronavirus. But, you know, I mean, it's hard to lay the blame at somebody's door, but, you know, you can understand how it can be transmitted, because let's say, off top of my head, let's say there's 1,000 Chinese people at the University of Sheffield or Sheffield Hallam University. Now, at some point, they're going to go home to visit the parents or the relatives. And then they're going to come back to the UK, not realising that they've probably brought the coronavirus with them. Yeah. It's a time game, really, for poorly people. But you see, this is the thing. I mean, you know, obviously the worst hit place is China. But, you know, there's like Australia, Canada, US, now the UK, France and wherever. They've all had cases of the coronavirus. Do we know if this coronavirus is transferable to pets? I don't know. I don't really know a lot about it, Gordo.
No idea.
I don't really know a lot about it. So, but yeah, you know. Yeah, in China, it was because everyone was visiting for a huge Chinese festival. But you see, this is what I'm saying. You know, they go back to China, then, you know, they come back to universities or colleges or wherever they're coming back to, not realising that they could possibly have brought that coronavirus with them. You know, it's not easily done, let's just say. But these folks on the cruise ship that had docked, well, they hadn't sort of actually docked in Japan. They'd sort of kept them far enough away, and they firstly, because somebody was ill on the boat, they started testing everybody. So they took 10 people off initially that had tested positive for this coronavirus. And then a few days later, some more tested for positive. So all in all, they took 20 people off this cruise ship. Now, they were saying because of the amount of people that they'd had to... because the amount of people that had been took off, the rest of the people on the ship had got to be kept in quarantine. And this couple was saying they're not allowed to leave the cabins. And they says, well, we lucky enough that we've got like an outside cabin with like a veranda, so they could actually sit out on the veranda and actually get some fresh air. But, you know, the people that they felt sorry for were the people on the inside cabins. They've got like a small window and that's it. You know, they're cooped up in the cabins 24/7. The ship's having...
Sorry, I've just gone on computer. I've got to start these up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Advertising China.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, like, you know, this couple that they're interviewing, they were one of the lucky ones that was in an outside cabin and had got like a balcony type of thing. And they said, well, we can go and sit out on the balcony, at least get some fresh air. But the ones on the inside cabins can't go anywhere. They're having the meals delivered to them. She says basically they're only getting like 1 cup of coffee or 1 cup of tea a day. And they says what started out as a luxury cruise, it's like a living hell now because they're not allowed to go anywhere.
That links to a bit of information.
All right, that's yeah. Chris says that link is a little information about it. So, but yeah, so they're sort of docked off shores of Japan, can't go anywhere, can't get off the boat, can't even go out the room or anything. Not understanding. I'll get who guesses who that is.
What is it?
Wakey.
Wakey.
But yeah, you can imagine that, you know, you've forked all this money out for a luxury cruise to be, you know, 2 weeks dark. She said we'd got this woman says, I think there were only like about 4 Brits on this cruise, but she says it were basically the day before they were due to get off the ship. She said we've got all his bags packed and everything, and you know, they sort of got all the bags packed because they were departing off the boat the next day. And she says the only announcement that came over the tannoy was due to an outbreak or positive blood test for the coronavirus, those people had been removed and everybody had got to stay in the room, so we're under quarantine. So, you know, it's what started out as a luxury, you know, holiday of a lifetime thing. But you see, this another thing as well is this guy that they was interviewing with diabetic, well, is diabetic, and he says, as look at it, it packed extra insulin just in case. But same as I says to Chris, I says, what happens if after a certain period of time they're still in quarantine and he needs his insulin? You know, are they going to sort that out for him? You know, are they going to get him extra insulin? And it's like, if you're on regular medication, you see, I don't think they think about these things. You know, if the worst were to happen, you know, like he needs insulin on a regular basis, you know, what happens when his insulin runs out? Are they going to get him more insulin or whatever, depending on how long they've got to stop in quarantine? You see, there's so many questions. And he said that the people... What are you laughing at now? You know, it's on board this ship, the only announcement they got was that they were having to stay in quarantine. It says most of what they've learned, I need to go to Tasda. Yeah.
They do then.
But you see, do they cover all these eventualities? I don't know. Do they stock extra insulin on board? Just leave it on there for now. You know, you know, it's an odd one, that is. You know, how long, if they've got insulin on, if they've got insulin on board, how long's that going to last before they have to send? You know, it's a lot of questions, really. You know, what's time? You see, they were saying they don't know nothing. Only thing that they know is what they've heard on social media or found out from social media, and sort of made a joke of it. It's a good job we've got Wi-Fi in cabin. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we'd be like totally cut off. You know what I mean? It's an hard one, that is. I wouldn't like to think I'd be put in the same situation, because it's like, it's like me. I take medication on a regular basis, and if we go away anyway, I always take that bit extra. I always take that bit extra just in case. But Johnny says, "Yo, Callum."
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
You know what I mean? I don't know whether anybody's saying, but if I go anywhere, I always take just that bit extra just in case.
Yeah, poor bugger here's got to carry it, look.
Where were it when we where
what?
Went to when we went to Great Yarmouth once.
Was it like?
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. Right, I'm going to tell you a story now.
Story time with Mum.
We went to Yarmouth on holiday.
A couple of years back.
Yeah, and we went on the Friday, and we stayed in a travel lodge or Premier Inn or something to that effect, right? Because we weren't going to. I think it was a chalet or a caravan or whatever till the day after. Now, we stayed in this room.
I think it was a travel lodge.
Yeah, and we got up the next morning. I took my tablets, as I do every single morning. I took my tablets, but when I come to take my tablets the following morning, one of the tablets were missing. Well, not one tablet, a strip of tablets. So I'm there panicking, thinking, what am I going to do? I can't go all week, not take this particular tablet. I think it were, I don't know whether it were a blood pressure tablet or what it were. I can't remember exactly. Johnny says he shops at 3 a.m. wearing an hazmat suit. So yeah, so I'm panicking, thinking, now what can I do? What can I do? So I get some on mobile phone to my own doctors at the time, and I says, look, I says, we've stayed in. I sort of told them, went through. We stayed in a hotel overnight. I says, I've come to take the tablets. Following morning, this particular tablet I can't find. I must have dropped it on the floor or something when we're in the hotel room. What am I going to do? So basically, hi, Rattletrap, how are you?
Rattletrap in the house.
What they did, they rung, I think it was Asda Pharmacy, weren't it?
Yeah.
They rung the Asda Pharmacy, explained that for some reason I'd lost these tablets, and could they issue me with an emergency prescription for it? And they did. But what I'm saying is, like in that situation, I'm there panicking, thinking, nah, I can't go all week. We're not taking this particular tablet. And it took me. I had to ring my own doctor, and they rung the Asda Pharmacy and said, look, I've got a patient coming in. She's lost this, that, and told them exact whatever.
What?
Wakey says, not bloody Asda again. But you see, the thing is that in Yarmouth, there's only like a Tesco and an Asda. So, and the closest thing to us was the Asda where we were staying. So, some as I say, I spoke to my doctor, and they says they must have Googled it or looked it up and said, well, nearest to you is Asda Pharmacy. I'll ring ahead, tell them to expect you, and can they issue you with an emergency prescription, whatever it were.
Come to make it down. I think we stayed in the Premier Inn.
It was say, I know we'd stayed in a hotel overnight.
I think it was Premier Inn.
So anyway, so that's sort of how we got round that. I rung my doctor, and they rung.
Because remember, there was as the crossroad, and there was Premier Inn.
Yeah.
We stayed in that Premier Inn. So I remember when we were.
Yeah, because where we were staying in the Premier Inn, the Asda were just across the road. And when I realised I couldn't find these tablets, some as I say, the doctor rang Ed for me and says, I've got a patient coming in. She's lost her tablets. Can you, do her an emergency prescription? And they did. So that was. I'm laughing at what Ian says.
What?
Can someone with coronavirus cough on my ex? Ask him for a friend. Your dad thought, hang on, Ian, there's tons of Chinese in Sheffield. I'll send a few hundred up there. Bound to be one that has it. But I was just saying, Ian, that I know it's sort of not honest.
Sorry,
Yeah. See you in the morning.
Good night, everybody.
Callum says good night, everybody. There's been a confirmed case of this coronavirus at the University of York. So, and same as I says, it's probably they've gone over to celebrate Chinese New Year or whatever, and then they've come back to, you know, the UK and not realise that they've brought the virus back with them.
See?
Wakey said night, Callum.
No, Wakey. Everyone's getting worried about one couple having coronavirus.
No, it's this about 400 or 500 died on it in China, Callum. It's only a matter.
I mean, because they came to UK. I mean,
that's all it takes. That's all it takes, Callum. Johnny says night, lad.
Johnny, you are?
That's what we said. It only takes one person to start it.
Let him read what the inspo.
What?
Oh dear.
Where's my kiss? Good night, babe.
You're not getting one in.
He's haven't told his trousers up here and he's lost that much weight recently.
Get skinny.
Yeah, it's all this walking to college and back.
Get skinny for it now.
Yeah. He heard him. He's getting skinny for all girls. Yeah, it's like everything, like his trousers, his pyjama bottoms. He's stroking cat with one hand and holding his pyjama bottoms up with other. Yeah, but Corona is also a beer. So I don't know. Is it named after the beer? I don't know. Why is it called coronavirus? I don't know.
Corona.
But you see, it's just that the same as I've said. It's as simple as that. Like we've got 2 universities. We've got several colleges here in Sheffield. It just takes one person to go home to visit the relatives and the parents and whatever, come back not knowing that they've got the virus, and that's it. You know what I mean? Philip will be after you now, Callum. You don't know who Philip Schofield is, Ian.
You are?
Nothing.
What's he said?
No, it says Philip will be after you now, Callum. I says you don't even know who Philip Schofield is.
I know he's turned out to be gay.
Yeah, oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he means.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he needs some new clothes. He's haven't told everything up. But yeah, same as I say. It says we've got them up here from the plane on the Wirral for 2 to 3. Yeah, because they aren't they sort of quarantine them as soon as they come back in from China.
We probably got to be in the university.
Oh, Wakey says according to this morning's news, we already have developed a vaccine.
Oh.
But you see, this is the thing as well, Wakey. This is what gets me. As you know, I got shingles last week, and I've been prone to get shingles. Now, that were about the 4th time I'd had shingles. Now, the shingles vaccine, you can only have it up until the age of about 75 or from the age of 75. So, you know, why ain't it open to such as me that I've got a compromised immune system? I'm more prone to getting shingles because of my immune system. Why ain't it open to anybody else, only a certain age bracket? You know what I mean? There's like a certain age bracket where you can get the shingles virus. Now, if
Bobby.
that lot they sent up from RAF base. Oh,
Oh.
what?
The picture of one of the play sites with Gordon the Gopher picture. The speech bubble. It's just like, Christ for that. I thought it was coming out as another Wendy.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dear.
So yeah, you know, it's yeah, and this is but you see, this is what gets me wakey and all, and this is just my opinion. Money talks, not the fact that both me and Chris have worked most of his lives, paid his national insurance and everything, right? And now, because neither of us is working, you have to fight tooth and nail for every single penny that they give you. You know, we're British, we've worked all his lives, we've paid his taxes, we've paid his national insurance. Darwin says, I've got a calling virus, it comes on strong every Saturday. But yeah, you know what I mean? And this, because you see, funny thing is, I forget what I'd gone to doctors for, and she says, go to chemist and get such and such, and she says, they're not all, they don't cost all that much. And I says, well, look at it from my point of view. She didn't like me very much for it, but I sat there and I says, well, look, I says, I've worked all my life. I says, and I've got certain health issues, and underactive thyroid being one of them, and I get my prescriptions for life free. I says, now you answer me this question. Why should I pay for something when I can get a prescription and get it for nothing? Yeah, but it's only, I says, I don't care. Yeah, but I don't care how much it costs, or how much or how little it costs. I get my prescriptions free. And if I can get that item free, I'm going to. So, you know, she didn't like it, but she reluctantly wrote me the prescription out. And I says to her, I says, look, I says, I'm British. I says, I've paid my taxes. I says, I've worked most of my life. I says, I've paid my taxes and my national insurance. I says, and if I can get that item free on a prescription, then I'm going to. Job done. She didn't like my attitude because I sort of told it, you know, I told it straight. If I can get it for nothing, I'm going to.
You like it, did you?
No. Well, yeah, in actual fact, Wakey, what you're saying, that is true, because I have paid my national insurance all these years. But she didn't like the fact that she was trying to tell me, oh, it's not all that expensive. You can get it over the counter at the chemist. And I says to her, no, I'm not going to pay for something that I know I can get free because I get free prescriptions. Why should I pay for something that I can get on free prescription? Because I've it's called hypothyroidism, and you can either have an underactive thyroid or an overactive thyroid. And because it's a lifelong condition, since I first got diagnosed with it, I've got my prescriptions free because it's a lifelong thing. You know what I mean? But, you know, she didn't like the attitude that I says, well, if I can get it for nothing, I'm going to do. I'm not paying for something that I can get for nothing. You know? And that was the GP. She didn't like it, but she reluctantly wrote me a prescription out for it. So, you know, And that's another thing as well, Richard. I always go for the ones that don't, the glasses that don't cost me any money. And because I get like free prescriptions, I get a free eye test as well. But within a certain price range, you know, because you can get like a free eye test and prescription up to a certain amount. I never go over that amount. I always get a pair that, you know, I don't have to pay anything for. You know, same as Wakey says, over the years, I mean, you think over the decades, should I say, I've paid my tax and I've paid my national insurance. Why shouldn't I get something for nothing? You know what I mean? And I pity people that still have to pay for their prescriptions, because I don't know how much they are nowadays, but I bet they're about £9 odd. Wakey says he wants some Dame Edna ones. I've not seen any of them in opticians, actually, no. Wakey.
I think they probably said, so that I was going to buy them.
You know what I mean? Same as I says, you know, I mean, I only said this to Chris the other day, because when I went to doctors with shingles, you see, she gives me, I have tramadol for me, for painkillers. And because the shingles were that painful, I only get a prescription for 30, which is like a month's worth. So since I had the shingles, I was like doubling up, and instead of taking one of a night, I was taking 2. So I was nearly out of tramadol. So I went to doctors on the Monday, and I says to her, I says, well, look, the prescription for the tramadol, I only get a month's worth, like 1 every day for a month. So I says, well, since I've had these shingles, I says, obviously it's very, very painful. I says, so I've been doubling up. I says, instead of taking 1 of a night, I've been taking 2. Wrote it out, no problem. You see, some as I say, you go to certain doctors and, you know, it's like you have to ring them out, if you know what I mean. Hi, Amjad, how are you?
Who's here?
You know what I mean? But same as I say, I says to her, I says, well, look, she only prescribes me 30 tablets, and it does say 1 or 2 every 6 hours. I says, well, since I've had the shingles, and you know how painful the shingles is, I says, I've been having to double up and take 2 of a night instead of just the 1. She wrote me another prescription out, no problem. I rang up today about our repeat prescriptions, and I explained to them, because it's like an outside agency, the doctors don't deal with the prescriptions anymore. You have to ring this number up, and they send your prescription electronically to you, straight to your pharmacy. I suppose, you know, they think the receptionist and whatever have got enough on the plate without, you know, dealing with prescriptions as well. So you ring this number up. You know, and I rung up and I says, nah, I says, tramadol is like right at the very end of my list. So I says to her, I says, it does say on this prescription, it's not due till like March something. I forget what date it were now. I can't think off the top of my head. I says, but I says, I've had shingles. I says, and it's like 2 weeks on Monday, this coming Monday. I says, since I went to see the doctor, she confirmed it. I says, and she gave me another prescription for tramadol because of the amount of pain I were in, and I were having to double up. Instead of taking 1, I were having to take 2. Oh, tea lights and wax melts.
Oh, there you go.
Cool. I've done 2 collabs today, Amjad, and they've both been published today, as well as my live stream. So anyway, so I have gabapentin as well, but same as I say, long and short of it is, she gave me another prescription, and I explained all this to this outside agent. They say, oh, what doctors do you go to? And I say, what doctors we go to? Do you give me permission to access your medication? They're only allowed to access your medication notes, not anything else. Yeah, Bella's been in and gone, Amjad. So anyway, so then they ask you, they go on to say, have I got your permission to access your medication notes? They're not allowed to access anything else, just your medication. Amjad says, oh my God, the cupcakes and brownies look lovely. I've seen both videos. And I explained to her that, I had to ask for an extra prescription for it because I'd been, and she says, don't worry about it. It's all gone through okay, blah, blah, blah. So we'll wait and see. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Wakey says tramadol sent me like a zombie. I was taking up to 16 a day.
A day?
You see, I got prescribed them initially because obviously the arthritis, and they says, well, because I have cocodamol and I have gabapentin, and I said that, they says just take one at night because I'm having a lot of trouble like sleeping, obviously with my back and my knees and whatever. So they says just take one. No, it's just a normal fag.
Huh?
Somebody's put what he's smoking, wacky tobacco.
What?
So yeah. There's two in. So yeah, just take a look and do what you've got to do. But you see, same as I say, initially I got prescribed the tramadol just to take at night, basically. And I've been all right on them. But same as I say, when I got the shingles, yeah, because like sort of earlier on, I'd take, either a gabapentin or 2 cocodamol, and then just before we go to sleep, I take a tramadol as well. So yeah, but same as I say, the one weren't cutting it when I had the shingles, so I had to ask the doctor for another prescription. So yeah, I thought about getting a job on the side as a paint mixer. But yeah, it's same as I say. Anybody knows anybody that knows that's had shingles, they know basically it's painful. You see, that's why I only take one at night, Tracy, because I know that if I take one at night, I'm in bed, I'm not, it's going to help me sleep. So, and that's why I only have a prescription for 30, because one a night lasts me a month, if you know what I mean. So, it's a case of, if you're in that much pain, you've got to do or take what you you know. But you see, this is what I'm saying about a lot of as the stuff Amjad. It's exactly, you know, exactly like Mr. Kipling, except cheaper. You know, it's a case of I think they're all packaged in whatever it's same factory. So you know, they're all packaged in same factory, except, you know, the manufacturer for different outlets. You know what I mean? Oh, we see. I try not to take too many of the gabapentin because I'm on like the 300 dose, so I only take them as and when necessary, if you know what I mean. You know, it's yeah, and I've said it all along, Amjad. I mean, even the smart price stuff, it's all packaged in the same factory, except it's cheaper packaging. You know, you're not telling me that you know, it's all the same thing as, let's say, Quaker oats, or, you know, the smart price porridge oats is exactly same as Quaker oats, except you know, it's cheaper packaging. It's not in a box. It's, you know, it's the same thing, but it's just packaged cheaper, if you know what I mean. Oh dear, he says he's on 600 3 times a day. That's a lot. Some, as I say, it's yeah, you know, it's like me. I've got I have the gabapentin because, some, as I say, for years I've had problems with my shoulders. I get inflamed muscles, etc., and that's the reason why they initially gave me gabapentin, because I have problems with inflamed muscles. They get hot, you know, they feel hot to touch and everything. But, you know, I mean, 9 times, you see, same as I said, the Asda, like, I never use anything other than Asda chocolate. The Cadbury's or whatever is twice as much money, and it just does the same thing. Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm saying, Wakey. You know, it's the same. It's the same. You know, different packaging, but same product, if you understand what I'm saying. So you know, it's all the same thing. And this is like going back to what I'm saying about, I get the smart price porridge oats, like when I'm making flapjacks and whatever, because they're just as good as Quaker oats, except they just come in a bag and not a box. They're just cheaper packaging. So you're not telling me that they don't fill the smart price bags with something different other than Quaker oats. It's all packaged in whatever, in the same factory. So prefer all brand myself. I can't stand that. It's like eating paper. It's like paper. Now, Mr. P likes porridge oats, don't you? He's got headphones on. He's not listening.
Huh?
I says you like porridge oats, don't you?
Yeah. So, you know.
But you see, I like Asda's pancakes. He says, I don't know, I've never tried eating paper. But yeah, you know, we tend to I buy the Asda pancakes, and I must admit that I do enjoy them. I like banana and golden syrup on mine. You know, I mean, it's like this. I buy that Philadelphia, and it's got Milka in it. Milka, it's like a chocolate, obviously. And Chris can't stand it, and he keeps saying, "Ah, you like this? I don't know." And I says, "It's lovely." Now he don't. There's a lot of things that he likes that I don't, and vice versa. There's a lot of things I like that he don't. My father puts sugar on his Frosties, but Frosties have already got sugar on them, haven't they? I mean, it's like Callum's gone onto Rice Krispies just lately, and basically I buy the Asda version of Rice Krispies, and they're just as good. And Callum don't have sugar or anything. He just pours them in a bowl, pours some milk on them. That's it. He don't have any sugar. He don't have sugar in his coffee. I love Asda brand scented tea lights and use them as wax melts more. Oh. So anyway, so as I was saying, Chris don't have sugar in coffee. Now I have sweeteners. But you know, Callum don't have sugar in his coffee, don't have sugar on his Rice Krispies. He just pours milk in, and you know what I mean. So you know, he takes after his dad for that. But there's like once upon a time, who were a right fussy eater. I mean, he insisted I get used to buy that Asda milkshake. It were about £1 a bottle, and he wouldn't drink anything other than milkshake when he had his breakfast. So now I don't buy that at all now, because before he goes to college, he has a coffee with his breakfast. So you know, as he's sort of got a bit older, I think how can I put it, is broadened his horizons a little bit, and he's sort of gone on to coffee. You know, I don't think he's ever tried tea, but I'll be honest, I prefer coffee to tea anyway. To push, I'd drink tea if there were nothing else. There's a woman on YouTube that eats sofas, so a tea light should be no problem. Oh dear, this is what I'm saying about, you know, some people have got weird things. I mean, who you know, who would have thought that somebody would eat a sofa? So, you know, if that's what that person wants to do, then, you know, good luck to them. You know what I mean? That's all I can say, you know. So, you know, I mean, I like to sit on my sofa, not eat it. You know what I mean? So how many sofas does she get through a week? Has she got a sofa addiction? You know what I mean? And does she go to, you know, does she go to scrap yards, or does she, you know, where does she get a fix from for a sofa? Does she have one every day? Does she eat one once a week? You know? When you says, does she have the cushions as a side plate? And he says, no, she takes them with her on long drives. But yeah, you know, I mean, we've got 2 computer chairs here. If she wants to swap, you know, try something different. You know, if she wants to crack at eating a computer chair. And this is what I'm saying about people with weird things, you know, eating a sofa. It must get expensive in her house if she's eating the sofa all the while. I don't think they have DFS in the USA. Well, that says it all then. I'm saying no more. But, you know, it can't be very good for a digestion or anything like that, can it? Eating a sofa. Or is it just like a publicity stunt?
Yeah, but if she just has one arm every week, she's all right.
She goes to, it says, dodgy furniture shop. Yeah, but I mean, it's like if you go to a dodgy furniture shop, you don't know who's been sitting on that sofa. Somebody might have shit this end while they've been sat on that sofa. You don't know. And if you're eating it and it's going inside your body, you know what I mean? This sort of that, you know, you've got to think about these sort of things, you know what I mean? Does she clean everything before she eats it? Does she deep clean it? Does she sanitize it? You know what I mean? There's all these questions that only me would think of. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't like to think that, you know, we're eating any old sofa because you don't know who's been sitting on it. You don't know whether they've been, you know, off this trolley and weed themselves. You know what I mean? There's such a lot of questions. I wouldn't like to think I were eating it anyway, put it that way. Richard said everything's been farted on in these sofa shops. But I mean, if you don't know where it's come from, you don't know who's been sat or lay on it, do you? And if you're putting that inside your body, and let's say, like Wakey says, she's eating them, you don't know what germs is on it, do you? I mean, it's like food. You know, if you know it's out of date and you know it's going to give you trots, you're not going to eat it, are you? You know, just think that way. You know, if it's food and it's out of date or it's gone past its use by date and it smells funny, you're not going to eat it, are you? But this is what I'm saying. It's like comparison to food. You don't eat something that you know's out of date or past its sell by date because you know that it's going to give you trots if you're going to eat it if it's gone past its sell by date. So you know, it's got the pros and cons, you know what I mean? But hey ho, if that's what she does, you know, for entertainment, you know, all well and good. I'll do it myself, like, but you want a recliner, don't you?
I know.
Keep saying he wants a recliner. So but not a reclining sofa, I mean a recliner. Says I want a lot of things, but it don't necessarily mean I'm going to get it. So yeah. We're going up to Johnny's on Monday to fetch that table that he so kindly bought me. So I'm looking forward to using it and being a bit more professional with my vlogs. I mean, I don't know whether you noticed, anybody that's watched my vlogs, the brownies one, when I'm putting it in the tin, all you can see is my hand and my arm. You know, you can't actually see me pouring it in tin. But with this table, it can sort of place the camera in front of me. You'll be able to see everything. So, some as I say, 12 years old. But you see, I look at it this way, Wakey. Things that are made good last. Things that are made on cheap, it's just false economy to me. if it's worth having, it's worth paying that bit extra for. And you know it's going to last you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh dear me.
I got one jealous boy looking at me and all.
I bet you've got holes burning in your back.
I know.
Oh dear. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, Chris used to work for DFS. And he said, I'd never buy a sofa from DFS.
Not a chance.
He says, I might have one if they get it me like. He says, but I won't buy one. He started off as a cleaner, and then he went sort of got promoted to what they call a runner. And it's like them that's making sofas and Chris, can you just get me this? Or Chris, can you just get me some tacks? Or Chris, can you just get me some staples? And he said he wished he'd had not given up the cleaning job because it were hard. They talked to him like he were a piece of, yeah. Oh, okay then, Richard. See you later. So yeah, he says, like, I don't know what I know now. He says, basically, I'd have stopped on cleaning job. He says, because they talk to you like crap and talk to you like this summit you trod in, you know what I mean? I says, well, this, you should have got a fork truck. But yeah, and it's, yeah, just because you're a runner, it don't mean to tell, it don't mean to say that you could talk to me like I'm a piece of crap. There were no sort of, can you get me this, Chris, please? Or can you get me, oh, thank you, Chris. It were, oh, you know what I mean? That were basically how they talked to him. Just go and get me so-and-so, or just go and get me so-and-so, you know what I mean? And he says, he ended up leaving it, and because he didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. Same as he says, a bit of appreciation for my job that I'm doing won't go amiss. You know what I mean? If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have the tools or the equipment to do what you're doing. You rely on me to do your job. Not to be talked to like a piece of crap. Like you're better than me and I'm just a gopher. But yeah, and he'd come home and he'd say, yeah, hierarchy in the workplace is yeah, I agree with that. The same as Chris says, I am shopping in town tomorrow with my mum and auntie. Get me something nice then, Amjad. But yeah, they thought because they were a runner and they were actually making the product, they thought they were better than him. And same as Chris says, just because I'm a runner, don't mean to tell, you can't treat me like crap or talk to me like crap. If it weren't for such as me getting the stuff that you need, you wouldn't be able to do your job. End of. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I've just more or less said. You were keeping them going. You were enabling them to do the job that they get paid to do. So exactly.
They don't like it when you answer them back and stand up.
But you see, this is the thing. A lot of people in this day and age are that worried about losing the jobs. It's a case of, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. How high do you want me to jump? And I said to Chris, I mean, I haven't worked for about 20 years. And I says, I could put up with it now in a workplace because I'd tell them where to go and shove it. And I'd getting sacked from that many jobs. I'd just tell them, say, well, you know, when you could talk to me in a decent, you know, you earn respect by giving respect. And that's my philosophy. Pixie, my teacher plays a joke on me, the same question. But you see, you shouldn't have to put up with that, Amjad. You know, I were only saying earlier on, it don't matter the colour of your skin, what sexuality you are, or anything. You're your own person, and I don't judge a person. I judge, you know, and same as going back to this where, you know, you treat me with respect and you'll get the same back. You know what I mean? Trust and respect is earned, not, you know, you've got to give respect to earn it back.
Somebody talks to me like a piece of...
Yeah, you know, and I often say this to Chris, if I'd have still been working now and I hadn't had the health issues that I have, I'd have been saying, you know, until you can talk to me in a decent manner and talk to me respectfully, then you can stuff your job up your joxy. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean? It's I won't stand for it.
Wow.
I wouldn't stand for it at all. I'd tell them what I thought, exactly what I thought.
Sometimes it can go for you that he'll say, "Oh, sorry, he can stick up for himself, we'll have him." Then on the other hand, they'll keep you on and
make your life a misery
while you're there.
Yeah, but I've often said this to Chris. No, I mean, it was like the employer that he finished from just over a year. They were treating him like a skivvy and everything. And I says, okay then, Wakey. And I says to Chris, I says, it's all well and good. I says, I'm saying to you, well, jump, and you saying how why. I says, but that don't help me. I says, if you're in a pine box. I says, no workplace is worth that. Worth the stress. Worth
minimum wage.
Yeah, worth causing an heart attack for or anything. I says, you think of yourself. Nobody else cares about you. Blah, blah, blah. See you later, Amjad. Okay, then. Have a good shopping trip tomorrow. You know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, I probably, in my teenage years, I might put up with it, but I won't put up with it in this day and age. And same as I said exactly the same to Chris. I says, no job is worth it. You know what I mean? You're no good to me if you're in a pine box 6 foot under ground. You know what I mean? It's not worth causing a heart attack or anything over. You know what I mean? I says, you think of your family. I says, you think of me. Amjad's going, Tracy. So, you know what I mean? You're no good to anybody if you're in a pine box and you're 6 foot under. You know what I mean? No job on this planet is worth it. But that's just my outlook on it. You know what I mean? If I'd sooner be broke and poor than rich and have him having a nervous breakdown or having a heart attack or having a stroke. You know, I need Chris. You know what I mean? I need Chris to look after me. And no amount of money can, you know, can account for that. You know what I mean? You can't, one, you can't take it with you. And two, he's no good to me if he's had a heart attack or he's had a stroke or whatever. I need him in good health. And it was stressing him out. It was stressing him out. And sort of when we made the decision that he were going to finish work to become my full-time carer, I says, it were in two minds at first. It were in two minds. You know, how we're going to manage for money, how we're going to do it. I says, well, look, I'd sooner struggle with money and have you here and know that you're not going to be stressing out about your job and stressing out about money and all this, that, and the other. Same as I say, I'd sooner have you here with me. Not that I want him here with me, you know, all the time, but at least I know if he's at home, he's not stressing out all the time. So, you know, you need a good health. I hear Warwick Davis is available for a fee. You're just stressed out all the time about cats. But it's nice that they love you so much. See, look, it's giving me. He never gets a minute's peace, I tell you. If it's not Lucy, it's Tucker. Or, as you can see on Facebook, it's both of them. Oh, dear. She's like a baby, though, Lucy is. She lies there and he says, I'm getting used to this, doing everything one-handed. Because he has to, she's like curled up in it and he has to put his hand underneath her so she don't fall off. And he says, I'm getting quite good at doing everything one-handed. You know, typing with one hand and scrolling with one hand. Oh, dear. But I think also it does, you know, I know what Benny's like. He's like a limpet, you know what I mean? But I think he sort of senses when I've had enough and then he jumps off, you see. So at least he's got the, you know, the brain capacity to know that, oh, well, I think she's going a bit agitated now. I'll go. Oh, he says 11 p.m. and Noel wants to play ball, sleep all day. Oh, dear. Well, isn't that the case? Same as I say, what with weather and that, it's been turning cold at night. Lucy and Benny, which is the female cat and the eldest one, have had sense to stay in at night. And Tucker, being the youngest, he was like a fart and went out last night. Chris says I had visions of getting up this morning and being frozen on doorstep. Yeah. And that's it. That's it, Tracy. Same as I say, no amount of money or job is worth that stress. You know what I mean? And I said to him, same as I say, we sort of mentioned it about him packing up work and then sort of let it drop. And then somebody mentioned it, why don't you pack up work if your job's stressing you out that much and become Jeanette's full-time carer? And we sat here having a discussion. You know, we sat here having this discussion one night and I says, well, look, I know how much it's stressing you out. You know, if you're not careful, you're going to be having a heart attack or a stroke because you're that stressed out about the job. I says, at the end of the day, I says, it's not worth it. Yeah, money's nice. I says, but no amount of money, I says, is going to bring you back. I says, if it ends up causing you to have a heart attack. So, you know, it sort of made the decision easier for him because I were on board with it. You know what I mean? It made the decision more easier because I was on board with it. And I says, it don't matter, you know, we'll get by, you know, we'll manage. I see what Wake has put. Only good thing to come out of South Yorkshire is the road to West Yorkshire. So yes, it's no job's worth it at the end of the day. No job is worth it at all. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth with causing a heart attack or a stroke. So on that note, guys, I'm going to get off. I've been going over 2 hours, so I just want to thank everybody. And if you get chance, take a look at the collaborations that I did. I've posted 2 today. So if you get the chance, I'd love for you to go over and watch it, or both of them. Tell me what you think and enjoy. So I will see you all on Monday, hopefully being well and I don't come down with influenza caused by Callum. So I'll see you. I'll see you all. I'll message either you or Johnny over the weekend, Tracy, about Monday. So I'll see everyone on Monday evening. Obviously, you might see us during the day if Johnny or somebody decides to go live while we're there visiting. So I'll see everybody on Monday. Bye. Uh-oh.
What do you mean?